What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Listen, man, this next video we about to check out and get weirded out by and all that type of stuff is gonna be the 10 most dangerous insects you must run away from. All right, so the 10 dangerous insects you must run away from. Also, we're gonna check out the 10 dangerous recently discovered insects. So they still got bugs out there, man, that they discovering. If that don't make you go like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Still stuff out there we ain't identified yet. That's insane to me, all right? So before we get into it, man, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, man, so you know when we drop these videos. And let's get to it. Let's get to this craziness.
Sometimes the thing that scares us the most are the things that we can't see, or almost can't see.
Like the coronavirus, you can't see it. That's what's so scary about it.
This is not an exception when it comes to the animal kingdom. Sure, I know bears, lions, sharks, crocodiles, killer whales, and other huge animals are very intimidating and even threatening if we get too close to them. But what are the chances that they'll come out during our sleep and attack us? You'd have to be in the open wild for that one to happen. If you look around, the most common animals that scare and have encounters with humans on a daily basis are very small. Small animals can attack you without you seeing them, and today we're going to be looking at 10 of those dangerous animals, which are insects. And no, I'm not including cockroaches because they're just gross and not actually dangerous. At least not as dangerous as the insects I'm showing you today. And I shouldn't have to explain myself, but just in case, don't expect any spiders. Or scorpions, or anything of that caliber, because...
Thank you. No spiders, no spiders.
Those are arachnids, not insects. Stay with me all the way to number 1 and find out what's the most dangerous insect on this list. Maybe you've even been attacked by one and you never even noticed, and, well, maybe you're being eaten by one right now. Either way, let's begin, shall we? Number 10. Bullet ants. Let's start this list with the largest ant in the world, the bullet ant. You can find these insects in the rainforests of Central and South America, Nicaragua and Paraguay to be more specific. Have you ever been stung by a bee? It's a very painful sting, but they say that the sting of a bullet ant is 30 times worse than the one from a honeybee or even a wasp.
30 times worse? Man, I got stung by a bee when I was a kid, bro. I'll never forget that scream as a child when that thing stung me, bro. Wasn't nothing you could do about it, but 30 times worse than that? I'm cool.
Some people call it the 24-hour ant because they say that the pain it produces will last for an entire day. The bullet ant is also known for its unpleasant smell. This odor is released when predators approach in the hopes of scaring them away. However, if this trick doesn't work, then they get stung. I guess you can't complain when you've been warned by a bad smell. Number 9. Botflies. And once again, another insect from the rainforests of Central and South America. I guess it's impossible to appreciate the beauty of the countries out there without the company of some insects, so why not?
Right, man, you always hear how beautiful it is in different places, but it's so deadly at the same time, so for that, I'll never be going. I just hear about it, you know, send me a postcard if you go. Like, I don't want to, it's too deadly out there.
I'll learn more about them, am I right? The botflies are dangerous for the simple fact that they can be living under your skin.
What?
That's right, they...
Oh!
Both the skin of mammals and humans are no exception. They say you can even feel the movement of its larvae underneath your skin and when they're there. However, I wouldn't worry too much. The larva will only stay for up to 60 days. It'll go out of your body once it turns into a fully developed insect, and I guess that's kind of a relief. Well, having larvae under your skin for that long can definitely have some serious effects on your health, though. So I would make sure to avoid any botfly laying eggs on me. Number 8. Fire ants.
Are you freaking kidding me, fam? This thing could just be up under your skin growing. What's to say it won't breathe? Oh, come on. That was a rough one right there. That was a rough one.
What can be worse than the largest ant in the world? Well, the fire ants, of course. If you like the outdoors, you know quite well that red ants don't like any kind of interruption. I mean, who does? Red ants will fight back whoever invades or threatens their space. They can crawl over your skin and sting you multiple times before you even notice them. And they're also going to keep stinging until you remove them from your skin, and sometimes there's so many that it's hard to quickly shake them all off. In more serious cases, fire ants can release some venom that causes allergic reactions and even produce a white pustule that will last a long time. So if you see a group of hardworking red ants near you, just let them carry on with their work. They're small animals you don't want to mess with. Number 7. Fleas. Fleas are a more popular threat to dogs and other animals than to us humans, but still, they can be quite dangerous to us as well. These small insects are known for sucking blood from their host. You'll know you've been bitten by one when you see an itchy red spot or a bump on your skin. The scariest thing about them is their size. They're as big as the tip of a pen and reproduce at a very fast rate. Just as a ballpark estimate, a female flea can lay 2,000 eggs in her 3 months of life.
How many? She just repopulated the whole tribe.
Produce at a very fast rate. Just as a ballpark estimate, a female flea can lay 2,000 eggs in her 3 months of life. They usually bite humans around their waist, elbows, and knees, and sometimes their bites can cause an infection. For that reason, you better call an expert if you ever identify a flea problem in your house. You don't want them to make a home in your skin. Number 6. Killer bees. Also known as Africanized honeybees, these bees are the most dangerous in the world. While the toxins in their sting is not life-threatening to humans, the amount of bees coming together was what might bring people to their own death. A single colony of killer bees can have around 80,000 of them. That's just a horrifying thought of the entire hive going against you.
Right.
You better run fast because they're going to chase you for more than a mile in order to get you, and they won't rest for the next 24 hours after getting disturbed. For that reason, all humans and animals should stay out of the range of any disturbed bees. They won't hesitate.
So I need to practice up on mama. I need to be able to run 2 miles. So right now I can't run a mile at all. Period. Not happening. So now I know bees will run you, chase you up to a mile. So I need to start conditioning for about 2 miles, 2 to 3 miles. I know that.
Hesitate to attack. When it comes to humans, they'll likely go for their face or their eyes. It seems like they enjoy stinging on those parts especially. Imagine having hundreds of bees in your eyes. Actually, maybe that's not such a good idea. So far, the number of deaths by killer bees is around 1,000, and we hope it stays that way. Let bees do their thing while we humans carry on with our daily lives and our own problems, far away from them. Number 5. The kissing bug. What's wrong with a kiss? I mean, every kiss does begin with K, but also killer begins with K as well. I guess there's a lot wrong when we're talking about insects, though. Even worse when a kiss is used to suck blood. The kissing bugs live to suck blood out of animals and humans. They get their name after the fact that they bite humans' lips while they sleep. The worst part is that there are 12,000 deaths every year due to the kissing bug disease, which is also called chungus. You'll know you've been bitten by one of these insects when you start seeing strange rashes or welts in your body. It's definitely the kind of kiss you'd like to avoid. Number 4.
At least tell us where they located at. Without saying that, I'm thinking they're probably everywhere now. Oh, man, you don't make me get my house fumigated, bro.
CC flies. Also known as tick-tick flies, these blood-sucking insects are native to the African continent. They are responsible for the death of almost 500,000 people, so that explains a lot as to why they're considered some of the most dangerous insects ever. Each sting comes with toxins that can cause sleeping sickness, which gets its name from the disturbed sleeping pattern that it might cause. If left untreated, this sickness can turn into a fatality. It can also cause fevers, headaches, swollen lymph glands, pain in the joints, and itchiness. But it's so deceiving to the point that weeks and even years might pass before you experience any serious problems. In later stages, it can cause some serious damage to the nervous system, including seizures and even difficulty to talk and walk. For that reason, it's important to get a proper medical checkup after coming into contact with such a deadly fly. Number 3. Driver ants. Can there be ants that are worse than the bullet ant and more intimidating than the fire ant? Well, yes, and the title of the most dangerous ant is for the driver ants. They're so bad that even elephants run away from them. They manage to be this threatening due to the size of their colonies, which can be made—
See? Full-grown, huge elephant is getting out the way. Getting out the way from these ants, bro. And ants done been on this list how many times already?
Made up of 22 million ants. They're committed to end the life of any animal that gets in their way. These unforgiving insects can kill a lot of different animals in just one go. They even attack other insect nests and kill them in order to get food. Humans are also not exempt from the threat of these ants. An attack by driver ants can cause some serious wounds on human skin. They're mostly found in Central and Eastern Africa, but don't be surprised if you find them in the southern part of the continent or even in Asia. Now it's time for today's best pick.
Let's see.
The photo I have today is one of a very angry insect. In fact, if you use a little bit of your imagination, you might even see an angry face on it. With its bright colors and a large size, you can already imagine how dangerous it can be. But what exactly is this insect? Is it a bee, a wasp, an exotic fly? Or is it all of them combined into one? Or is it just hatred personified? Number 2. The giant Japanese hornet.
Hornet.
While it may not actually be called number 2, to give you some perspective on this matter, let me start by pointing out that this is the largest species of hornet in the world. Yeah, that's right. This hornet can be about 5 centimeters long, which is quite larger than most insects. What makes them so dangerous is the venom of their sting, which causes an allergic reaction and dissolving of tissues in a very short window of time. Multiple stings can even cause deaths. In fact, Japanese hornets cause about 40 deaths per year, which is quite a lot for an exotic insect such as this one. These hornets are also famous for having a large colony of about 700 hornets each. Their favorite pastime is actually eating honeybee larvae, and they are capable of killing 40 honeybees.
Like 700 deep, they roll with a crew, a gang. See, these insects, they the real gang members, not us. It's the insects that be rolling with the gangs.
Within a minute if they wanted to. After all, it really does seem like the giant Japanese hornet is a very angry and aggressive insect, and I wouldn't like to come across any of them in my life. And now for the most dangerous insect of them all, that you probably already heard about and you've probably already seen and felt. But maybe you are unaware of just how bad they can be.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds.
Mosquitoes. Yeah, that's right, the most dangerous insects are not some exotic animal that you never heard about. This title belongs to the minuscule mosquitoes, as they are some of the most common and most dangerous insects out there. No, I'm not kidding, actually. I'm not kidding, because they are responsible for 1 million deaths per year.
I hate them, man, because sometimes you don't know they on you till they on you, and it's too late by then. You're trying to kill them.
They're all around the world. They transmit a lot of diseases, but the deadliest one is probably malaria. They carry this serious disease from place to place and inject it on their victims as they feed from their blood. There are 500 million cases of malaria every year, and it's considered that a child dies every 30 seconds due to this terrible illness. They also transmit other diseases, such as yellow fever, encephalitis, the West Nile virus, and the most famous of all, dengue. Dengue is common in tropical areas such as Central America and Southeast Asia, so make sure you get some repellent on you before you venture into mosquito-infested areas. A mosquito bite doesn't always end up getting people sick, but make sure you visit a doctor if you're not feeling well after getting bitten by one of these insects. And now you know more about the most dangerous insects in the world. Have you ever been bitten by one of these insects, or have you heard of...
That's scary, because we all have been some form bitten by a mosquito, man, and just never really thought much about it. But yeah, they do transfer and carry a lot of different things, man. So it's scary. And they right in our backyards a lot of times. So let's keep it going, though.
15,000 and 18,000 new species are identified each year. So many that it's really hard to keep up with them all. Scientists have so far identified 2 million species of plants, animals, and microbes. But there is so much more left to discover, with insects being a huge part of that discovery. From ants using kamikaze techniques to keep the colony safe, to a spider that uses itself as a slingshot to catch its prey. Check out these 10 recently discovered insects. Madagascar's pelican spider. Thought to have gone extinct until 18 new species were rediscovered in 2008.
Thought to be gone extinct. How many times have I argued with people on this channel about Megalodon, and then they throw out on an insect video, thought to have gone extinct? I'ma just leave that right there, man. I'ma just leave that right there. Keep arguing with me about Megalodon. I know that has nothing to do with an insect right now, but just hearing that thought to have gone extinct. People think things are extinct and they're not, man.
The Madagascar pelican spider is one of the most bizarre looking spiders on the planet. In fact, it doesn't really resemble a spider at all. At a mere 5 millimeters long, these tiny spiders behave just as odd as they look. Because the most interesting thing is that they don't do what other spiders do. They don't build webs, dig tunnels, or set tripwires waiting for an unsuspecting insect to come along. Instead, they follow the faint trails of silk that other spiders leave behind as they go stalking their fellow arachnids until they get a chance to pounce. They then use their long fangs as poisonous skewers, impaling their prey. And if that's not weird enough, their heads are stretched into a tubular structure that gives the appearance of a separate head and neck. However, the spider's mouths are actually below the neck, and the head-like bulb is loaded with muscles to power their highly maneuverable jaws, which they use to impale their prey. Hitchhiking beetle.
Inhale.
You might think that riding ants is a mode of transportation reserved for animated kids' movies and a certain wisecracking Avenger. But apparently a newly discovered beetle in Costa Rica heard about how strong ants are and decided to hitch a ride. First found by scientists in 2017, a group of biologists almost didn't notice this well-disguised beetle clamped onto the abdomen of an army ant. It's so well disguised that detecting this insect is nearly impossible with the naked eye, and the researchers only noticed them because of a strange difference in the reflection of the abdomen of some of the ants they were collecting at night. An up-close inspection of the captured ants that are slightly different colors, literally. To be more specific, the beetles use their jaws to bite down and latch onto the ants, turning these dedicated workers into a quick mode of transportation from one side of the forest to the other. See-through shrimp. The see-through shrimp looks like something straight out of a horror movie, but it's not actually a shrimp. But it's not an alien either. These strikingly disturbing-looking crustaceans were discovered by a team from the University of Seville in Spain, and are actually members of the amphipod family. They live in the deep dark of several caves off the coast of Catalina, and appear to have at least a few adaptations in common with deep-sea creatures. They have small eyes, completely see-through bodies, and display sexual dimorphism. That is to say, the two sexes are easily distinguishable by sight. Males are much
like shrimp. Is anybody getting that feel from it?
Larger, with bigger claws than females. Despite their somewhat frightening appearance, the translucent bodies serve the very important purpose of helping disguise them in the water. And the trick has been so successful that we've only just found out about them in 2013.
So, next time you're eating some shrimp, or you get them and they still got the heads on them, right? Think about that. That's what you could be eating.
Like moth. It's not often that a moth is a mystery, but the aptly named Enigma moth is practically a Rubik's Cube level puzzle. Described as a living fossil, this sparkling insect is part of an ancient group of moths with ties back to the days of the dinosaurs. In fact, these odd little creatures are so prehistoric with their iridescent gold and purple scales and feather-like tasseled wings that their discovery in 2015 has provided scientists a unique window into the evolutionary path of moths and, quite possibly, insects as a whole. What makes the survival of this species especially remarkable is the fact that their entire adult life is only 1 day long. So, if you thought finding a date was hard, imagine having to do it all under 24 hours. Yet somehow this tiny, fluffy bag has managed to not just survive, but to thrive undetected for millennia. Living branch.
A 24-hour day? That's it? That's crazy.
The stick, the sword, a post. If this living branch ever took on a role in some sort of stage play, it would probably be regulated to serving as one of these less than dignified props. But that's okay, because this bug doesn't want any attention. At more than a foot long and considered the second largest stick insect ever to be found in the world, this species makes itself at home in the jungles of Vietnam. It was discovered just in the year 2014 and managed to stay hidden for so long despite its size because its stick-like form matches so perfectly to its environment that it's nearly impossible to spot if you're just walking through the forest. This seemingly odd adaptation has allowed it and similar insects to survive in relative safety, often disguising themselves.
I mean, right in plain sight, and you won't even see it. Right? That's amazing. At the same time, that's a little bit scary too, bro. You know how it is, and you walking around and you might snap a little branch off a tree and just be playing around with it. Imagine reaching and grabbing that and it move. Fam, that's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Themselves as a very peculiar kind of tree depending on the species. Fearless ant. It's well known that ants are almost robotically loyal to their home colonies, but one fearless ant species, discovered in Madagascar back in 2014, take their dedication to family to whole new heights. When worker and fighter ants at the entrance of the nest sense the presence of an intruder, they exhibit what is considered a rather strange and extreme insect behavior. Instead of swarming the foreign body as regular ants would, these oddball insects grab onto the offending creature with their huge jaws and hurl themselves off the high ledges through which they tunnel their homes. Often, this brash move is all it takes to toss potential threats to the side, and then the ants can just get up, march up the hill, and go back to work as if nothing's happened. It's certainly odd, but an effective strategy to defend the colony, and it's earned them many thousands of years of survival as a species.
Basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Vicious wasp. A lot of people like bees, and it's not exactly hard to see why. They're fluffy, they pollinate our food, and they basically keep the entirety of our ecosystem in balance. Without bees, 30% of crops and 90% of wild plants simply wouldn't exist. Wasps, however, aren't always so helpful. Sometimes they're downright scary, and the perfectly named bonehouse wasp is definitely terrifying. First spotted in 2014 by German researchers working in China, this deadly insect doesn't just pack a reusable sting, it's brilliantly demented. Females of this species have a uniquely horrifying way of providing for their young. When a bonehouse wasp is ready to lay her eggs, she constructs a nest made up of many solid-walled cells, catches and kills a spider for each cell, depositing a single egg into the body of each arachnid. She then covers and seals each cell with the bodies of dead ants to disguise the smell of her soon-to-be offspring with the chemicals of the rotting ant corpses. Triangle weaver spider. This interesting spider was recently discovered and has a remarkable ability.
Hey man, even though it's still interesting to learn about these different species and insects, man. You know what I mean? The things that they go through to feed their young, supply them with food, and also protect them is rather interesting to me. You know what I mean?
That other spiders don't possess. The triangle weaver, Hyptiotes cavatus, builds a web to catch its prey like any other spider. However, when their prey hit the web, something near logic-defying happens. Sitting in one corner, the spider seems to suddenly teleport in the blink of an eye closer to its prey. Then another, and then another, until the web eventually collapses on the insect. It might seem like this spider has the ability to teleport, but it's actually pulling off something you'd never think possible. With its front legs, it tugs a thread within the larger structure of the web, building up tension, while at the same time using its back legs to hold another anchor thread, leaving a lot of slack. The extra thread coils up near the spider's spinneret, and when the spider releases the coiled anchor line, the arachnid rockets forward with incredible speed, which researchers measured at an astonishing 0.4 miles per second.
The real Spider-Man, like, my kid does it, I just can't do it. That's Spider-Man.
773 meters per second, which equates to a dizzying 79 Gs. To give you an example of how incredible that is, fighter pilots pass out at just 9 Gs. Cave-dwelling beetle, Zudites bellus. At less than half an inch long, the recently discovered Zudites bellus doesn't exactly strike an intimidating figure. In fact, this beetle is so weird it seems like it defies common sense. But it just might be the most cave-dwelling adapted beetle in existence. When a group of scientists working in the Guangxi province in China first shined their lights on this odd-looking little insect, they noted that it had no eyes, little pigmentation, and an extremely long head. Actually, it was long all over, with sections of its legs being much longer than a previously known species. This super stretched out body, along with the natural climbing ability most beetles share, has allowed these cave-dwelling beetles to squeeze into crevices that remain inaccessible to their more regularly shaped cousins. And that proficiency with caves has allowed it to evade detection until recently in 2018. Flatties.
Basically, and saying until we disturb their habitat, as we do, you know what I mean? That's what humans do. That's why they attack us the way they do, because we always disturbing something.
Spiders. While the other numbers on our list are more about a single newly discovered species, in the case of the flatty spiders, a study in 2018 resulted in the discovery of 3 new varieties of this agile arachnid family. Ignoring the creepy flattened appearance, perhaps the coolest thing about these spiders is the fact that they're the fastest turners on the planet. With turning speeds of up to 3,000 degrees per second, flatty spiders put even the most seasoned of Olympic skaters to shame.
They compared the spider to Olympians, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy comparison. For them to be able to turn that fast like that, you got to be able, the only thing you can compare them to is an Olympian. Saying that a mere mortal human, because I always consider Olympians just like, I don't know, superheroes almost to me, man. So for us mere mortals, we stand no chance with that spider is basically what they saying.
Slow motion video evidence of flatties snatching up crickets showed that the spiders used the leg closest to their prey to anchor themselves, while the opposite legs pushed the spider into a turn that took them a mere 1/8 of a second to complete. This quick spin is an evolutionary adaptation that has allowed flatties to survive right alongside other more regularly shaped spider species. We hope you enjoyed this video. Tell us which one of these creatures you thought was the cool.
Listen, fam, just thinking about it, man, like I said, stuff out there we still haven't discovered yet that we're discovering. What they say, about 14 to 15,000 new insects a year? That's just insects. Imagine how many other species or different things are out there that we haven't discovered yet. Telling y'all, man, stop telling me stuff don't exist no more. It's your boy L, man. Y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned to the next reaction. I'm out. Peace, y'all. Stay solid. Hey.